share the link around, and then can get on the road. Okay. Doing some more dev tonight, and like the last few times, we are continuing on level 9. I did not mean to place a combo there. Okay. Yeah, so I'm still not a giant fan of how... I also shouldn't have been designing this, because you can't even get here yet until you get the hook shot. The long linear pads, I don't love it. I really don't love the way level 9's turned out. I think it could have been so much better. But I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it'll play out nicely. I don't want to do anything drastic to it until I've actually like done some playtesting with it. Okay, so I need to sort of retrace my steps a tiny bit here because okay. So you take this path, you can take this path, you can also go up here. So I'll need to figure that out. I need my picture again of level 9. I'm gonna actually park this right here. Yeah. So we're in the chapel. Going down. So that goes down to the barracks, which is that map. Okay. That takes you this way. Block puzzle. Do all this. I actually very much like this puzzle room here. Or this little challenge. Well, puzzle challenge. Same thing, whatever. So that takes you back up. You can't get across here yet. Like, I very much like this region. I think this whole area is really nice. It's just I don't like the linear pathing. I really hope it plays well. This takes you back up to the chapel, which is basically what's gonna happen. So you can't really take this path. So you go down here. That leads back here, so you've kind of gone all the way back to a room you were in a while ago to get there. Okay, I think this is where I last did development. I'm up to where you actually can get the hook shot. However... Hey, Soma. I mean, yeah, well, so the thing is, level 9 gets super open once you get the long shot. Because up until now, you've been passing a lot of things you can't do until you get the long shot. And I can always add, like, shortcuts. I can always add shortcuts with the long shot. Making it feel like you've broken the dungeon wide open once you get the long shot. Yeah. But no, I thought there was another... Did I exhaust all the options without the long shot? Besides this tower, this goes up to here. So I'll need to figure out tower, spider, tower. Why does the spider look strange there? The way the pixels were compressed there looks strange. And actually, I do want to test something. I want to see if I actually like worked it out. Oh, shoot. Well, this might break because that technically doesn't work. Yeah. Well, I need to test this route anyway. When you cheat it, it kind of breaks it. Oh, I am actually... Oh, crap. I am actually in the proper dungeon. Oh, God. I got myself stuck. Get boomeranged. So this was updated. Okay. I thought I did. Oh, that's right. There's this weird, like... Wait. Uh-oh. Really? I paused it and now I can't unpause? It's locked up. I can't do anything. F9 no longer does anything. Okay, apparently the frame by frame is busted. Okay, well, that was fun. Is it just straight up busted? It's straight up busted. All right, bug report. Alright, that's a fun bug report. Because like, I can interact with this, but it's like the actual player is just dead. And F9 is supposed to be like an emergency like quit out, but it's... You actually have to do this. What about F3? Yeah, F4 and F3 do it. Oh my god. I guess I could do that. Yeah, you get sent to the castle's prison. So... So let's do this again. Whoops. What? It automatically did... that freaks out. Well, that's nice. That unset... The reason I was doing the frame advance is if you look at the map up here... Whoa, wait, what? My boomerang. It goes way outside of the screen. Huh. That continue screen is one I made. Ooh, that was a little strange. Yeah, if you look in the map in the upper left, you can actually see the dungeon map for a frame. Cool, okay. So that completely works. Oh no. The continue point was set, so I actually have to quit out. Because, I mean, once this is all done, I could delete the original screen. Not that I'm in a hurry to delete that, but I can. Oops. So what triggers this cutscene? That. Setting secrets. I can sit in here as long as I want. Nothing will happen. Which might be a bug. Or not really a bug, but maybe I should just change that. Because once you've bombed this, you've initiated that, oh yeah, I'm doing this route. And then killing these enemies initiates that, so I don't even need to kill the other ones. Still need to do something with this. Alright, yep. You can tell by the D-map. Uh-oh. I still... How do I have no walls off? I thought I turned it on. Yeah, it's strange to me that, because of that one thing I have that makes magic work on the edge of screens, it also makes it so that projectiles completely can leave the screen. Alright, cool. So this is actually fully functioning. I forgot that I did that. So I can technically delete... I can delete this screen. Yeah. I'll leave it. At least for posterity. I mean, like, what am I going to do with that screen? It's not like I'm itching to have another screen added to any of these, so... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. Anyway. Wait, what was that? Maybe calling it Castle Prison would fit better than Dungeon. Low levels of Dungeon. Well, okay. Calling them Dungeon's a little meta, because it is the Castle Dungeon. So I don't have a problem with that. If someone makes the joke that, well, obviously it's a dungeon, everything's a dungeon in Zelda games, then it's like, well, okay, you're also not entirely wrong. But it's also funny that they're all considered dungeons, when technically a dungeon is a prison, but not, like, level 1 from the original Zelda is not a prison, so, you know. If that room still appear in level 9 even if it's an Easter egg? What do you mean? That screen is in level 9. Like, that's the whole point. Like, this is level 9's actual dungeon. There it is right there. Like, when you enter level 9 here, from that cave, you can very quickly find that screen that you were locked up in. And this will, like, from level 9, you can go into the battle arena. The old name was Labyrinth. Well, okay, yeah, that is true. The translation technically burned them on that. Because I think it was the translation. You got me there. Yeah, I forgot that in Japanese they're technically referred to as labyrinths. Well, then that was a localization problem then. Technically, they're not dungeons, so, yeah. I'm trying to make sure that what's remaining here... Maybe what I'll do is I'll just re-walk through it. So the dungeon goes up into the Undercroft. Yes. Well, that's why I called it dungeon. I didn't call it dungeon because Zelda has dungeons. I chose dungeon because when I was doing research, that is what they're referred to as. Yep. I mean, prison would work too. I'm not like yeah, that's valid, but I like dungeon for that. There should be Yeah, that's the compass. So you get the compass fairly early on. Huh. So I still haven't figured out what this does. So Oubliette, I wouldn't choose Oubliette because technically the Oubliette was a singular cell that was like, I don't know, like 3-ish feet in diameter. And it was meant to be like essentially a kill chamber, like you were dropped in and essentially forgotten about. Oubliette would work better for like a prison that's like really dark, really cramped, devoid of light. Yeah, I've done my research. Yeah, I'm not just calling things the way I'm calling them because it's for the coolsies. Like I want to be as authentic as I can. I also found a YouTuber that talks about like medieval torture, and I've seen some of his videos, and he talked about an oubliette. So cool stuff, as morbid as it is. Also, here you go, Soma. Take a screenshot if you want. These are 2 ice block puzzles I have that are fully functioning. And I'm actually like kind of impressed with myself. I sort of just like threw blocks down how I thought would work, and this one I had to modify a decent bit to actually get working, but this one is like I only changed like 2 blocks, and then I just sort of threw the switches where I thought would be interesting, and it kind of just works. It actually took me a while to get this one to solve. Honestly though, this one was tougher than this one, in my opinion. Well, in my opinion, when I was actually working on it. I was also noticing I did the wrong C set here. 5 looks better. So this floor, you can basically do everything on this floor except for get here and here. Yeah, that's all you can't do. So we're in the Undercroft, so going up goes into the library on the right side. Which is here. Are they spread out? Actually, no. They're not. They're 2 separate pads, though. Yeah, they're actually not spread out. They probably should be, though. Oh. The thing is, it'd be easy enough to move them. I have lots of bookshelves. Oh, you have not seen the library, have you? You're gonna enjoy this. If you want bookshelves, I got you covered. And you may be wondering, I mentioned every time there's a bookshelf you can read them. Will that apply to this? Yeah. Every bookshelf in this quest will have, at the very least, it'll give you nothing. I'm going to pull a dragon quest and say none of them appear to be interesting. But at least they will be interactable. Wait, why are there these eye hookshot spots? What purpose are these serving? Don't know why I did that. That was odd. Must have been, I might have like changed what I was doing in that room and just didn't remove them. So that top staircase goes that way. Sorry about that. I had to take care of some business. In a grand castle such as this, I'd picture a boss store being at the top of a grand carpet stairway. Oh, the top right? Yes, but it does more than that. If someone donates something, if someone becomes a member, if someone becomes a Twitch sub, any of that. I've actually the reason you're still seeing it is because I modified it. I actually customized CSS and some values with it to make it look the way it does, and it also doesn't go away, which I thought made sense, and that's also how I originally wanted it, because, you know, you do that, then yeah, I mean, you get your name on the stream or whatever. I don't know if I'd want it up for when I'm recording videos, because that'd be a little strange, but I mean, you subscribe or you donate or you become a member or something, you get your name on stuff. So that's a good thing, right? Anyway, so you come down here, go that way. Just realized my foot was bleeding. Anyway. Why did I choose this C set for this stuff? Or honestly, looks better for that. Oh, that's the map. Okay. This was actually the screen where I first played around with the fire bars. Like, this is the screen that I originally tested it with. So then you go back around. I think you go left here. So anyway, Soma, here is your library. Notice all the signposts. Yeah, I didn't notice my foot was still bleeding, so I gotta put pressure on that. But yeah, so this is the library. It's kind of an insane amount of signposts, but yeah, each of them will be readable with nuggets of lore. I'm sure there will be plenty of lore to fill in these bookshelves. Kind of don't doubt that. Cat scratch? No, I was trimming my nails and got a little more than I should have. The puzzle going on in the library is actually really fun. Yeah, I'll say what it is. There, you'll see that there's an FFC for hidden books. Among all of these bookshelves, so okay, if any of you have played Final Fantasy 1 or 4, how you'd have the bonus dungeons that, not in the originals, it's in the ports where they added content. You would be on floor, like in Final Fantasy 4 actually did this exact thing, where you had to find a specific book for an NPC, and it's in a massive library with a ridiculous amount of bookshelves, and you just go up to each bookshelf trying to find the book that this person wants to advance to the next floor. Think of this as that. There's 4 bookshelves you need to talk to. It activates a thing, and then that's what activates this bridge. So, I think it's cool. You know, more inspiration from Final Fantasy, as if I didn't already have enough. Okay. So then you go off to the left, which goes to the main keep over here. Right here it connects. Yeah, all these torches should actually be CSET 5. Which includes the spikes. Whoops. Not the walls. There we go. Trying to be very intentional with my coloring here. Probably not a castle garden. No. Didn't really design for that. Anyway, so then you come this way, and then this is when the linearity becomes very apparent, because you only have one way to go. The main keep, the main central keep here, I did kind of want to be like this. I just didn't expect the whole dungeon to sort of pull from that. You come through here. Man, I was being very bad about... Yeah, the cycling looks weird in the editor, but it looks fine in the player. I don't know what's up with that, because it looks fine in the player. Spawn me on spikes. Apparently I forgot those. Apparently Emily already fixed the issue where the editor froze. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can always just change how some of these paths work and then have them sort of be more sectioned off. That wouldn't honestly be the worst thing. Maybe I'll end up doing that. Will I do that for Demo 6? I don't know. Okay, so this is our first main branch. So we're in the main hall. So you go down to the armory. Here. I did want each section to be sort of like closed off to itself to some degree. What I mean by that is like how basically when you finish the armory, or like you enter the armory, I mean, well, I guess the armory is a bad example because you have the hookshot room here. I mean, you're not intended to bounce between maps constantly, basically, is what I'm saying. And that was the original thought I had. Like, this little route here is just for a key. And then this route here is to just unlock a path later on. So I think the armory wouldn't need to get changed at all. I think it's fine. The only thing is I have these dead end screens that I don't... Like, they'd be perfect for, like, keys and whatnot, but I don't know how many keys I want to have in the dungeon. I originally played with the idea that you only get... You get one key per map, and that's kind of the gimmick, is, like, you get one key per map. I don't know. There's still a lot to figure out. This dungeon is huge. It's by far the biggest dungeon I've ever made. I don't think I expected it to be this complex, which is funny because I was already expecting it to be insanely complex. But now that I'm actually in the process, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just so tolerant. What was I originally doing with the switch? I don't think I originally wanted this here. Now, I wanted it to be a flag. There. Okay. I forgot in 3x3 it does that. There's like a weird offset bug that I reported and is supposedly now fixed. Going from one to another and back is also what I was expecting. What I expected. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is kind of the way dungeons are going for the rest of the quests that aren't mini dungeons, per se. Not all of them. But, I mean, levels 10, 11, 12 are following suit. And I plan on doing some gimmicky stuff, kind of like level 9 from IOR, how you had to, like, swap between, like, modes of the dungeon. I want to do something like that, because I find that mechanic very fun. You know, the same space, but gets changed by some thing. I don't know if it'll be color. I actually have a dungeon idea that I wrote down years ago that was essentially a water dungeon. I don't know if this would fit in now that I've done water dungeons. Level 7 kind of did this, but also didn't. The idea was you were constantly lowering water. It wasn't like Ocarina of Time where it's up, down, up, down, up, down, but kind of like Ocarina of Time, how there was multiple levels down. This one, there might be like 5 levels, but it's only like you're having to send it down in order to get down. The idea is you're going deeper into the dungeon. I don't know. It's kind of funny that I'm to this point in the quest where it's like I need to start actually figuring out what I want to pull now from my ideas, because there's not much quest left. Then as opposed like to what there was once before. So here you have 3 separate paths, but one of which just turns on a switch. Yeah, I believe Legend of Leak New Legacy did something similar, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, thought it would be cool. But who knows what I'll get to do anymore. Because, like I said, there aren't many dungeons left, so... yeah, who knows. I think the only variance in path at this point is that you get to go up to the towers, which does add variance. Because you could go this way, but this ultimately just takes you back. This takes you to Hookshot, and then that takes you back. Okay. So then bombing up here takes you to the spire. You need a long shot for that. I mean, it is insane, but it's oddly enough the truth. Like, let's just look at the sheet here. I have these 2 dungeons, which Forbidden Spire is the dungeon for my mini quest, so that's already like 50% done. I have the layout. Now, is the layout of that dungeon going to be the exact same as my mini quest? No. That dungeon was not... To my recollection, it wasn't well designed. Granted, I haven't looked at it in years, so maybe it actually is good and I can preserve most of it. My plan was I was going to rebuild that dungeon exact and then like make modifications once I see it in scope. Suma's Catacombs, I don't think the dungeon is going to be big, but the lead up to the... Think of it as like Isle of Birth, Dusty Caverns into level 11, but not so separated, because like Dusty Caverns was very isolated from level 11. It was like a mini dungeon before level 11. Think of like them combined, where like think of it, imagine if the Dusty Caverns occasionally put you into level 11, you did some bits and then you left and then came back. That's what I'm planning on the Catacombs being, where imagine you have this large catacombs underground, but the cave system around it sort of bled into it, so it's gonna like be very intertwined. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So it's not really a giant dungeon per se. Wait, the mini quest dungeon design was about a 5 out of 10. Enemies were most memorable. Yeah. I mean, that dungeon was literally the first dungeon I ever made. So a 5 out of 10 is a compliment. Believe me. The enemies were most memorable. Huh. That surprises me though. But I mean, like, so that's, let's say 2 dungeons. But then you have 10, 11, 12. So that's 5. Then Secluded... Oh, so yeah, Secluded Tower. And then even Origin... I don't know how dungeony that's gonna be. I don't anticipate it'll be big at all. 10, 11, 12 are the... I think 10, 11, 12 are the last big dungeons, plus my post-game dungeon. I do want a big... I want a dungeon that I don't pull any stops for as my final post-game dungeon. The enemies made it quite tough. Oh, alright. Keep that in mind. But, yeah, so basically all that's left for, like, the big complex dungeons are 10, 11, 12, and my big final post-game dungeon. Chapel of Rumination is going to be interesting. That'll be very interesting to make. And then, yeah, final hardest post-game dungeon. It's right there. Yeah, Chapel of Rumination I'm excited for. Because it's quite literally going to be the optional dungeons from Final Fantasy 1, like Dawn of Souls and PSP, and I think on mobile too. The added dungeons, where each floor is like different. You go through some kind of challenge, and the idea is I'm gonna kind of blend that with like a sort of Hall of Memories thing, where you go through a floor that is like very abstract, and then you end off with a boss that will be a boss from earlier in the quest. But instead of like Hall of Memories, where it's literally just 11 rooms where 10 of the bosses you fought before, I could be wrong with the numbers, but you get the idea. It's gonna be like that, but with a floor of challenge. It's the perfect example is from Glory Squad. Glory Squad had exactly what I'm making. I didn't even realize it's exact. Jeez. Anyway, so this goes down. Oops. This goes down, and we're in the chapel, so that goes down to the barracks, which is this map. How does it connect? It connects from top center, so I connect here. Oh. No? Wait. I'm wrong. I'm looking at the armory. What am I doing? It's a barracks. Connects here. Okay. Yeah, it's... Okay. But it's in Glory Squad. So, once you've played Glory Squad, you'll know what my Chapel of Rumination is. So then you go back up. So I guess this isn't as horribly linear as I mean, it is linear, but it has two major branches, one of which goes to the hook, the long shot, and the other which just continues to unlock things. Oh, well, I guess that branch I just stated kind of is here. Going right takes you back, going up takes you to the long shot. Yes. But you can also go up this way. So I guess I'm going to start designing the spires. So now this is going to be interesting because these 4 screens is a tower, these 4 screens are a tower. Wait, no. These 4 screens are a tower. These 4 are a tower. This is Spire F1, Spire F2. I still haven't fully figured out where the boss is. I like your idea of a grand carpeted staircase, Somo. I guess my quest is just going to have a bunch of rooftop bosses. You had one in the Seas Guard Tower, and then you had one in level 8, and now level 9. I don't know. I actually thought of the idea that the final boss was actually in the dungeon down here. Like if I made a boss room down here. I haven't even put the staircase here. I have no idea what's going down here. But yeah, let's just do the spire, the towers and spire. Do I not have map data? Map settings, here we go. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I don't know if I'm keeping it this way. I'm just doing this so that I actually like box off these maps. Big post game paladin only. It might be. I haven't decided. I had a lot of ideas way back about how I would do the whole paladin related stuff. I don't know yet. Oh, hey, Elegant. And my foot stopped bleeding finally. Ooh, cool. You can't even tell that this is right between two screens. Oh, God. How did that get messed up? What? I did... Oh, I never actually set this. Started Glorious Scope and never finished it. I'd recommend it. It's a fantastic quest. Yeah, level 9's big. I love regions so much, man. They're so cool. So it's the same thing, except instead of 14, it's going to be 16. Yeah, I've actually had some anxiety about this dungeon actually being good. I just hope it's actually going to be good. I just do 111 because I don't know which one. East Tower. I just hope it ends up being good. That's what I'm worried about. Which is fun. I'm not going to use them for... because I... What do I even have here anymore? Oh, wow. That's awesome. It's awesome to hear, Elegant. You know what's funny? That was me when I was doing Demo 4 at the beginning. Because, like, once I created level 5, it was like I was non-existent. Tough time in my life. That affected it, but I mean, you guys know, like, I went such long breaks between dev for the first 5 years of this quest. Like 2025 really kicked off like my consistent dev. I've been on this like almost, I'd say no less than like once or twice a week for the last like 8 months. And look how far I've gotten. I've done level 6. Actually, no, I started with Sealed Abyss, which then went to level 6, 2 mini dungeons, Suma's Pass, and Sweltering Iron Mine. And then 7, 8, 9, like, yeah, it's crazy. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I'm not really worried about it being memorable. I guess I don't really think about it from that perspective. I think about it as, like, I just hope it's an enjoyable dungeon. Like, that's it. That's all I'm concerned about, that it's an enjoyable dungeon. Okay, I think I've just determined what this floor is going to be like. And we're going to be copying a very... a screen you guys have seen in the quest is going to be here. You're going to recognize a screen here. I don't know what the rest of these screens are gonna be, but here it is, Soma. This is gonna be the big one right here. Ah, come on. This will be the grand staircase. So let's make sure we're okay. So we got 3 on that side, 3 on this side. Cool. That'll enable me to do something real fancy. Well, technically, in order for this to be a grand stair, we need to do something like this. Because each of these is like a level. I don't know why I did it this way. I could just do this. Oh, well, in that case... Yeah, hang on. I don't know what this screen would be. That's the only problem. God dang it. Oh my god, everything's on layer 0, isn't it? Stupid. Well, it's fine. I've since changed how I'm doing this. So it's basically going to be this whole screen is your grand staircase. Gotta love autosave coming at the perfect time. So we're going to reference another screen here for this. Hey, look at this screen. Remember this old guy? Comes into play here. Obviously, it's going to have to change to adapt to the times. Except the fact everything was on layer 0. Why was the table on layer 0? Ah. Come on, erase. Jeez. Alright, how about this? We're gonna take a screenshot. Have you sit here as a reference. Yeah, so this is Ode to Castlevania from what you call it? Vampire Survivors. They did a Castlevania covers. And yes, they did a fantastic job. I do plan on some of these being in my quest. Or at least one of them. Not all of these versions are my favorite of their respective songs, but they're still very good. Yeah. I do at least want to get like honestly, hang on. I could still copy this over. Just obviously. Well, obviously that didn't really do much for me. Yeah, I mean, they definitely do go hard, as it were. Apparently, I didn't know what layer 1 was when I made this screen originally. Make these consistent with the rest of the bookshelves in the dungeon. Heck, make this consistent. I mean, yeah, I definitely did. Well, actually, no. I did think at some point it would come back. I just didn't know in what manner. Here we are. So. Like, why would the Necromancer not have a fancy bed? Why would he have a lame old bed? Like, come on, dude. Class it up. Why is it on layer 2? It's such nonsense. Like, why is there just not a layer 2? And these go on 3. I only recently made this Triforce an FFC. It was a custom tile, which I thought was a strange choice for me. What? I was like, what layer are the books on? What the heck? Hey, gamer. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Welcome to the stream, but I don't know what you're talking about. Double bed. So the thing is, he's not going to be in that kind of mentality when Link would find him. So he wouldn't be in that kind of state. Yeah, I think the screens look identical except the bookshelves. Okay, I need to take a visit to the library. Okay, so this is correct. This one's not. So what are we looking at? Let's see set 2. There. But yeah, that's Necromancer's study that you saw at the very beginning of the game. Now actually in the game. That's also not in his mentality. Well, wait, okay, so what actually is his mentality? I've changed my story, which also means, like, motivation of the villain. Yes, this is, the Lost Portrait from, yeah, if anyone's curious, this is a playlist I made of my, I took the whole, like, Ode to Castlevania, or not Ode to Castlevania, but just, oh, that's right, Harmony of Despair, geez, not Ode to Castlevania, just the ones that I liked listening to, so, yeah, it's originally from Symphony of the Night, yeah. I guess I could actually, like, design this. Oops. Because ultimately this is going to be a sea of walls. To create that grand staircase, it needs to be a sea of walls. That I think can narrow as you go up. Wait, no, how would that work? I'm gonna, like, fully style this instead of, like, half baking it for now. Which ones of these did I use the least? Ideally, this one I didn't use at all. This one I use a lot. Yeah. Why is everything in Karulum Archipelago? Good lord. I saw like 3 that were all in Karulum. I'm gonna need to standardize that. Oh no. Okay, well what if it isn't one of these kinds of tiles? I don't think I use these. So, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I try to avoid using aesthetic stuff like this. For the primary reason, obviously except for the fairy statue, because that's my healing spots before dungeons, or before bosses. Because I don't want to just place things for aesthetics. Something that exists in level 9 should not be in Pernicious Grotto. Like, that just wouldn't make sense. What would that be doing there? So I've intentionally held off on, like, overly... Like, all of the... Everything you've seen in my quest so far is severely understyled, in my opinion. Not that I anticipate every screen being packed to the gills with stuff. But, I mean, I've avoided doing, like, super fancy styling specifically because I want to wait until the entire game's established so that, okay, this particular nice-looking statue or pillar or whatever in level 9, who was built by the original, like, royalty on Vita, where would their statues be found in the game that would make sense? Certainly not in some Goron geothermal plant on Mount Dorado. That also wouldn't make sense. But perhaps in level 4, Pillage Prison, the prison was built by that government. It's just south of the castle. So then any style that's in level 9 could be in level 4. That's logical. That makes sense. And then you also have the pirates that eventually, pillaged the Pillage Prison. Their aesthetic would be identical. So that's also saying that level 4 would have some design aesthetic similar to level 8, but not... It would be exclusive, mutually exclusive to the design that is connected to level 9. Like, a pirate design in level 4 that connects to level 8 wouldn't be in level 9, for instance. So there's a lot of complexity there that I've wanted to avoid. Well, yeah, and like, I'm just saying that, like, that's why a lot of my screens don't have any, like, super special things so far. I mean, you have stylized some screens, but I've tried to not. Because, like, even this is like, what are they called? The Gossip Stones, right? The Gossip Stones. I think it's how they're referred to in Ocarina of Time. It's like, where do I... Obviously, they may not mean Gossip Stones in my quest, but where would they go that would make sense? I think they'd look cool here. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of neat. But yeah, so my entire quest, I've avoided doing this kind of stuff. Doing too much of this kind of stuff. Because I've never wanted to be inconsistent with myself or do something illogical. But I think that looks kind of cool. Sheikah Eye. Oh, Lens of... Okay. Whoops. Clearly I've forgotten. Obviously, I have done some stuff, like these elephant statues, I believe, are all in level... Oh, they're all in that area. What did I use in... Wait, what did I use in the one place? Oh, I used these statues. Okay, that makes sense. They look menacing enough to be used in that scenario. I think this is going to be a scrolling warp. I think that'd be kind of neat. This is the only F3 in the whole quest. Now the question is this going to be a region? Pitiful Scion? Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah. I think I've decided this is going to be a region. So many regions. I never actually set this up as a region. Okay, yeah. Look at that. We're using all the regions that exist. Good lord. Oh. Statue of Ganon in Hylian Sanctuary. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the situation, but yeah. Didn't think I'd be designing the boss room tonight, but here we are. And I'm actually liking the direction it's going in. I think this is going to look pretty good. Wish my hand were a little more steady. Indeed elegant. Yep. Most regal bat in the world. Ah. This feels a little too oblong for my liking. I don't really know how to solve that though. It's just because the entrance is so far on the left side. I don't know why I'm putting these here. Because this is still going to be stairs. Putting these here because this is going to be some cool aesthetic outside look. And I'm just putting these here to remind me to do that. Oh, I also can't forget something. These statues poke over. So here, I need to have this. Although, honestly... What the heck? Did I have that set up to the wrong place? What the heck? I had it warping to the same screen. Really? F3? Wait, what? This is an F3 though. Hang on. Yeah, because, oh, the towers are F2. Okay. Wait. Yeah, so that's at the same level, but then Spire Floor 3 is the boss. This will be 15. What? Oh, I didn't finish my D maps. I think that's what's going wrong here. Yeah, because West Tower, it's a little hard to see. Wait. Not that I think it matters, really, per se. Because West Tower should actually be... Yeah, these four here are West Tower. Whoa. Oh, that's how I did it? No, that doesn't make as much sense. East Tower will be those. Spire F2 would be those. Spire F3 with those. Alright. So now all of this should make sense. There we go. Oof. Why don't we test this? Zero consideration for lore behind your locations. Well, you see, the problem is my locations are the lore, so I don't have a choice. So I wanted to make sure. Okay, so you do actually kind of see his study. Ooh. Okay, that is actually really cool. Holy crap, this actually looks... I was not expecting it to look this cool. Look at that. Link's in the Necromancer's study. Just a giant wall in the back. Good lord. That's crazy. It's just crazy to see this is actually in the game now. Like this image right here. One of the earlier things I created. Huh. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Here's your boss room. big old boss room. And then obviously the doors will lock behind you here. Yeah, there it is. Oh shoot, I actually want to test it again. It's cool to look at the DMAP name. I also changed the DMAP names. It's no longer just Southwest Interitus for everything, or Northeast Interitus, or Northwest Interitus, Southeast Interitus. You now actually get the actual regions you're in within the area. So like if I go over here, it's Mount Khaldun. So I had to do Mount Khaldun and not MT Khaldun because the way the word wrapping just didn't really play nicely in Engine. So I actually had to spell out Mount. I mean, it's fine. It's not a huge deal. But because then you go down here. Yeah, it didn't make sense for me to not do that. Oh, this still says planes. I think it's because I didn't put a DMAP transition here. That's probably why. Yeah. I did. Oh, wait, no, I'm not looking at the right screen. This screen. Yeah, considering a lot of NPCs reference, or like areas are referenced in the game, a lot of areas are referenced, it'll be easier for the player if they can actually see the name of that in game to like correlate it to, oh, this NPC mentioned this specific region. Venana Marsh actually says Venana Marsh. So yeah, like it makes sense. Oh, I also overhauled the overworld a little bit here. So Northeast Interitus being created so early in the development process, like those of you who've been here for a long time, you've seen how it's evolved so drastically. Swai never got that treatment. Southwest Interitus has actually been around a very long time now at this point, and it's never gotten the treatment of like giving actual life. I just drowned that moblin. Drowning enemies is honestly one of my favorite things in the game. It's not even something. Oh, I didn't do the combos here, right? It's not even like in my game. It's just a thing that ZC does now. But like I go this way, Palace Village. So if you ever have a side quest, because there's gonna be a lot of side quests, say my brother's in Palace Village, give this to him, and you're like, I don't know which one's Palace Village. You're gonna need to go read every one of these signs. No, you just it reinforces you. Oh, Palace Village. Look at that. And then, oh, what's over here? Venana Marsh. Like, did I leave the transition here? Yeah, Mount Dorado. And then we go to Southeast Interitus. The only thing that changes is the W to an E. So, I think it's really cool. Oh, yes, my frozen... Oh, here's my ice physics, by the way. I think it works pretty nicely. My frozen river... I'm very proud of my frozen lake here. But Galito Shoals, and I got Galito Shoal. Yeah, it's super satisfying. Yeah, I love it. And you're on the coasts. Yeah, I think it's nice. Now we're in Verity Village. You know, it's really cool. It's also cool to just see the names of stuff now. Kampur Forest. Krazen Quarry. It's very nice, very cool. Yeah, I'm proud of it. I like that I did that. Funnily enough, I'd actually been mulling that over for years. Like, should I just do that? But yeah, I just decided, okay, you know, let's just do it. It's around 54, so it'd be 53. This would be 15. Swai Plains. This goes to 54. There. Yeah, it helps with navigation. More life. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think it was a good choice. Especially, well, you also have to figure, when I originally set that stuff up, the engine map name that would appear up there was much more limited than it is now. You can have like way more characters in your name, and it represents it much better. So it only made sense for me to actually go ahead and do that. I don't want to style this too much because it's not crucial to what I'm trying to do tonight. So yeah, I'll need to figure out. Well, this I actually do need to figure out. Predator location by name, yeah. Yeah. Like, in fact, I don't know if you guys even noticed, but tonight when I went into the Seas Guard Tower, you can actually, if you recall, I had to truncate Seas Guard Tower dungeon to, like, the word dungeon was DGN, because there wasn't enough characters. I couldn't do anything else. But like Seas Guard Tower was TWR, but now I can actually have the whole name. But now look at this, Seas Guard Tower dungeon. You get to see the whole words of each of the words. It's such quality of life improvements, so great. Oh yeah, I forgot. Campura Forest got a overhaul too here. Also, I don't know if any of you have seen RE Desert. I actually mostly set up RE Desert. I like the gimmick I have going on here. It's gonna kind of, my inspiration was kind of from Ocarina of Time, Gerudo Desert, whatever it was called. How if you went the wrong way, you got warped back to the start. That's basically what's going on here. I sort of backed myself in the corner with RE Desert being only one screen. Like I can't go down here, I can't go up here. It's just one row of screens. This was what I came up with. So yeah, that's what I have going on there. Do you have carpet tiles? The closest I have to carpet tiles would be, I don't know if I have any examples right now, but I can find they're right here. This is actually one of my favorite songs playing right now. I have these. So I can always do something like Course Run Layer 0. I just love this song in general. Gates Up at the Darkness, fantastic Castlevania song. I want it in my quest. It's going to be in my quest somewhere. It's just too good of a song to not have somewhere. How's that, Soma? There's your big carpeted walkway up. Ooh. Ho, ho, ho. Look at that. See, it's at 12. It actually works. Yeah, IOR is what showed me how much I love the song. I mean, IOR got me into Castlevania music. I never knew anything about Castlevania. I may have heard Castlevania songs in other Zelda Classic Quests, but I didn't know that was Castlevania. I was just like, huh, that's a cool song. But Castlevania, or Isle of Birth is what actually showed me, like, these are Castlevania songs, and it's one of my favorite soundtracks of any video game that exists. So, yeah, I mean, IOR just exposed me to it. So, I found out I loved it through it. Okay, so where were we before? So, you can get up this tower earlier on. Steal this carpet idea. It looks that good to you, huh? It looks really good. That looks fantastic. I don't know if... Is this too dark? I don't even know what color this is. Apparently it's purple. Oh, the purple. So you think that actually really works? Okay. The only problem is that C-set 12, which is a strange C-set. That's why everything looks strange right now, except these, which are 8-bit tiles. So like if I went to C-set 12 with this, what would that look like? Yeah, see that? Ugh. Even I can tell that doesn't look good. And that's saying something. Anyway, I need to figure these out. I actually think I know what I'm doing here. Yeah, like I said, even I was like, ugh. I didn't know it was red. I just knew it looked bad. That's the thing. I won't know what color it is that looks bad. I'll just know it looks bad. And then, you know, I mean, what more do I need to know? It looks bad. What I'm thinking I might do is there's going to be a switch in both of the spires that is ultimately going to unlock, I'm guessing, maybe the way to the boss. So maybe the big goal here is we need to get to the spires. Do I have too many? I have too many. No, I don't. What? Oh, something got finicky. Screwy here. There we go. Of course. By the time my quest is done, I will have destroyed my one key. The one key will be dead, and I will need to replace it by the time this quest is done. I swear to God. So irritating. Well, I'm saying because every time I forget I'm on layer 0, not layer 1, depending on how frustrated I am, I smack that one key. Uh-oh. Alright, thanks, Steam, for just suddenly popping up something. That was great. I guess. Okay. The wife is sending me games. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that actually kind of spaces out nicely. Oops. I think this works, yeah. It actually spaces out perfectly. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then here. Oh, they're not in line. Oh, guess what layer I'm on? Oh. Oh. That is amazing. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't even select anything on layer 0. Freaking criminy, man. Alright, I'm just gonna do this so that I can, like, make sure that I don't mess up the positioning. Because this is much quicker to place. Okay. Ugh. I almost need to make an alias for this, but I'm not going to because this is a very niche situation, so the amount of effort it would take to create the alias probably wouldn't even be worth it. You know, I have toyed with the idea that once I finish my quest, I will create a Game Boy tile set that is for 3.0. Something that's actually updated and, like, easier to work with modern ZC, but I'm sure someone else is gonna do it, and I don't even know what the future of quest dev is for me after Terra Necromancy, because there's so many other things that I want to do. So, I don't know. No promises, because I honestly don't even know what I'm going to do. Alright, I just needed to grab any example of switches, because I can modify it to whatever I need it to be. These are my level 9 things. Page 42.
Really? I've accidentally put you halfway off screen. Why are you not letting me? Yeah. Oh, wait. 4? 60. So it'd be 8. There we go. That was a little strange, but I'm gonna be lazy and just do this here too. You know what it's time for? Bat placeholder. We're leveling it up to level 2 though. Did I ever wire this up? Oh, I did. Look at me go. The switch of legend. Oh, yeah. What? Alright, so being lazy was not the solution, obviously. We're gonna put all the enemies here. So here. Enemy secret, and then states. Oh shoot, I don't even know what map I'm on. 171x39. Well, that didn't sound good. Did I not uncheck that? Let me in. Where'd the bat go? There you are. Get back here. Switch of legend. I don't have sword. Yeah, that kind of did some nonsense. Apparently it just set X80. But obviously. Also, that's not even the right switch. Yeah, I didn't even... I would need to find my, like, you know, non-side view switches. Which I'm lazy and I always just go to the forge because it's the first place I use these switches, so obviously the best place to go. Apparently it's on layer 1. My biggest issue with dev is always trying to find where stuff is. Oh, they're on... It's right freaking below it. Good lord, what's wrong with me? Literally right below it. Go figure. That works. Okay. Mini cutscene showing switches that do from a distance. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. To make it clear what's going on. That makes sense to me. So you know, the good thing is, since these screens are getting copied, I can literally copy and paste. Huzzah. And of course, because I apparently was insistent on doing the stuff on layer 0, these floors got screwed up. I know no one will ever see that, but my OCD will know it's there, so I can't allow that to stay there. There we go. All that's left is to copy the switch. Hey, it copied to the same position too. Nice. So now let's save and let's test these. I'm just going to make sure that the warps work. So, Spire F2. Oh, that looks awesome. That looks lovely. Okay, what's going on? It's like the pallets are like doing weird stuff. West Tower. Okay. This will immediately open. Oh, also, you can go down here. You may wonder why. Literally just to be like, hey, I'm in the cutscene. You know? There's no actual practical point. Because, like, back in this cutscene, which is actually on map 6, you're right there. You get to stand where the Necromancer stood. Don't you feel fancy? Anyway, back to important stuff. Did I ever set this up? Probably not. Yeah, I didn't get to that point. I've only set stuff up until, like, what I've walked through. East Tower. Sweet. Yep, no enemies, so... You didn't even swap. Huh. You do feel fancy? Oh, yeah. You gotta feel fancy. You're literally right where he stood. No. The front entrance is gonna open... from the inside, basically. I know that didn't answer anything, but literally once you get to this screen, like, that's when it opens. What is preventing you from getting, like, this? So this is where the hub's gonna be. I don't know what screens exactly yet. I don't know if it's just like these 4 essentially, or if I'm also gonna include like these here. So essentially, oh, actually, I think that is my plan. This region here, so this 4x3 is going to be that hub. So maybe like this will be a shop, this will be a shop, and then these will just be like NPCs, and I don't know, it'll be whatever. Since this 4x3 is sort of isolated off from the rest of the dungeon. But again, so what is preventing you from being here? Quite simply, the long shot. Because like here's the route I intended you to get. Behind where you get the hook shot. So you can actually trigger that. Hang on. What's to prevent you from actually doing that? I think I actually intentionally made it to where I didn't say what's preventing you. Because it could be as simple as like, just get all the keys. You know, once you have X amount of keys, then you're able to get through here. It's a linear, a narrow path, so I could easily just make it a bunch of lock blocks. Also, I think design-wise, this will look better. Or actually, no, gameplay-wise, this will function better. Probably won't look better, but it'll function better. Okay, it's actually really bothering me. Why are these stairs not centered to each other? This is like offset 1 to the left. There, that actually looks sane. I don't know why I did that way. Basically, yeah. Yeah. Identical. If I go that route. I'm saying I could do that. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I still need to figure that out. So anyway, so tonight, with what I was trying to figure out, like where I was walking through, where did I get to? I think I was over here because I was... Yeah, because I was saying you bomb this wall, you get in here, up those stairs. Up those stairs takes you up here, which gets you access to that tower. Now, obviously, I don't want to give you access to all of this. That's not good. That'd be strange. So I think we need our little gate here. We're going to block that off for now. Honestly, it should be isolated, right? Like, that makes sense to me. Like, think Castle Baron from Final Fantasy IV. Like, each of the spires were isolated to their own regions within the castle. So I think I should do, like... Shoot. That makes sense to me. They should be isolated. It makes commanding the flow a little easier. there's really, yeah, it's not on layer 3, layer 2. Or no, I think it was layer 1, right? Yeah, I just did it on 1. If the towers aren't isolated, it forces linearity. I see. Yeah, I was kind of leaning on the linearity there. Okay, well, see, now there's an issue. How do you get to the spire? Well, I guess the answer is obvious. Just have a staircase. Okay. Let's think about it. So, we have the chapel staircase here. Library staircase here. There needs to be a staircase up here somewhere that leads to the spire, which honestly would be easy enough to do. Just throw a staircase there that's locked. Or no, I would have a staircase there, but obviously you can't get through it until you unlock the 2 spires. Oh, that's funny. I've updated these screens so much from the image. This is what it looked like. This is what it looks like now. So at first, I say that because I was like, wait, is this even the right map? It is. It's just changed. Question is where? Because I think here, I had it up this column. And then presumably here. Oh, I had you there. I think you make more sense here. Huh. I didn't even set it up yet. Okay, so then it obviously does not matter that I didn't do this yet. There you go. I don't need to set it up now. I've been sort of intentionally waiting on setting stuff up because it makes it clear to me what I have and haven't done yet. Especially since I've kind of been designing, putting puzzles in, and walking through the dungeon myself to make sure it works. So that works. So now this just means for here... if it stays linear, you can open the way to the end instantly. Seems too simple. Yeah. Alright. Have a good night, Elegant. Great having you on. Part of me would want to have 2 staircases. One on this screen, one on this screen. But I don't really know how to make that work nicely. Have like, how can I do it to where it's separate? Okay, so let's identify what this path is doing. So this is just a path from here, which we've already seen, but obviously requires a long shot. Long linear path gets over here, but now where's it going? I think that's something I don't actually know yet. Yeah, it's ultimately unlocking a shortcut and other stuff. Okay. So obviously, some of you could probably tell this big linear path is inspired by Oliver Burt's or Prismatic Gate's long narrow path around the entire F2. Yeah, because it ultimately left to that like pit room. I mean, with what I've done so far now, I understand how he did it. I honestly think my level 8 is actually pretty good in that department. I feel like my level 8 is fairly complex, and obviously I don't have color changes having multiple maps, but I can understand now that the principle is identical. It just takes time. It takes time and mental capacity to like memorize everything that remember everything you're doing and how it works. My level 8's pretty complex. I wouldn't be surprised if on a blind playthrough it takes a couple hours to get through. My level 8 is more akin to what I wanted level 9 to be. It's a much better dungeon. Level 7's alright, but yeah, level 8's got a lot going on. Like it has long paths like this, but there's less of them. Yeah. Man, I haven't looked at level 8 in such a long time. I think I did a very good job in level 8. Alright, well, there you go, Soma. That was a little teaser of level 8. I'd like to have these two screens separate. And I actually... Oh, I know exactly how I'm doing it. Okay. Okay. They are going to be two separate path stairs. Okay. Oof. I thought about how I'm doing this. Sometimes it takes my brain just a minute to figure out how I'm doing something, but once I do, I'm on a roll. You know what's funny? I can actually have this be an FFC and center it. I don't know how it's going to work with the solid combos behind it. Ooh. I mean, quite simply. Oh, I already have non-solid versions of them. It's 15. So I'll do C here. B here. Ah, shoot. Left staircase is going to the chapel. And it's this screen. You're going to the library. Right? I did confirm that I did make that consistent. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no. Okay, that's chapel. And library's right there. Fantastic. Okay. Where's the boss key? No idea. We'll figure that out eventually. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't good. Nice. No, that was incorrect. You follow C. Library. I was being dumb. It's main hall. Aha. Lovely. So how is this going to work, you may ask? Well, let me show you. Ah, yes. One of my favorite Castlevania songs of all time. There's nothing like Divine Bloodlines. I've been trying to find a very special spot for Divine Bloodlines. A very special one. Like, this song single-handedly makes me excited to play Rondo of Blood. Boss key, I don't know. Area or boss? What are you referring to? Area. Okay, so that's a little sketchy, but now let's see how this works. And see how this works. Let's see how having this staircase set up this way works. I have no idea. Hopefully it works. Okay, it works great. Now you can't, like... That looks a little strange. Oh. I actually just thought of a solution to this. Also, I will point out, these 4 options that were recently, like in the last month, added. Maybe, well, I went from August to January with no updates, so it could have been in August to December without updates, so it could have been in August, September, October, November, December. This is amazing. The way I had to find a combo before from an FFC was edit, go here, page number 18, then go page 18. Such a nuisance. So, and you could also select. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to put you there, which is on layer 1, which is incorrect. There. Problem solved. It might look a little strange, but at least it looks cool. At the very least. Just gotta blow out this wall here. Voila. That is now how you get here. Yes, the double stair. So what this immediately tells you now is that getting this one is going to be, and actually, I was going to say you don't even need the long shot, but I may have just made it to where you do need the long shot in order to get up there. I need to find myself a one of these. There we go. I don't know if the long shot or if the short shot can reach this. We can test. I think it can, so I might need to... that's tough. Ooh, well, at least from here. Yeah, I mean, easily. So the question is, should the short shot be able to reach that? Should I lock off the ways of getting into the towers? Should they both be locked off? I think they should be blocked off until you get the long shot. Because this dungeon's going to basically have 2 phases. You have a pre-hook long shot phase and then a post-long shot phase. And I think that unlocking the way to the boss should ultimately be a post phase. I think this looks good. I will need normal hookshot spots. There should be hookshot spots here somewhere. There we go. I was gonna say I knew I had some on in the library or the church chapel. So now the short shot should be able to get across horizontally, but not vertically. So, oh no. Well, I mean, this is a solvable problem. I also like the way this looked before. I like it like this. I'm kind of... I don't really care between this. I like this a little bit more. But now let's see. Does it at least work vertically? Nope. How close is it? I mean, also a solvable problem. You see, I would love to do this, but the problem is hookshot reach around. Because you can be like this. Oh. I let you do it, but it's a troll because you don't actually land. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah, because like this can easily reach. I get so annoyed of having to do this. But I have to do that. That's how it has to be. See, like, doing it from here works. And, you know, it's actually easy to test, because when you fall, it respawns you on literally, literally a pixel where you fell. So if I wanted to get as close as I can to this, just fall. Nope. But this is funny. Hey, I made it. Nope. Oh. I mean, I guess just do this, right? Because then you can't do that. Well, I think you can still technically reach it, though. See, I can reach that. Yeah, that's still reachable. Alright, well, guess we're doing this. So now it's physically impossible. Now you definitely cannot reach it. I'm going to be so happy to not have to try to work around the short shot anymore. Because after level 9, you have the long shot. So finally, no longer trying to, or having to figure out what the short shot can reach. Because it's such a nuisance. Now, granted, I could always, like... Oops. I could always have just reduced chain length, but you know, actually, I didn't think about that sooner. I could have reduced it a long time ago. Interesting. I'd wonder how much would break if I made it 5. But, and I mean, there's no point even thinking about it anymore because I'm at level 9 now. This is the last time I need to worry about the short shot hitting stuff. So I actually don't need to worry about it. Because chain length of 6 is the stock length of the hook shot. I never modified it. So like obvious... Oh, wait. Well, this is... I guess I can do this. Oh, man. How do I do this to where it looks good? Maybe I do need to do this. Oh, and I also need to be off in a minute here. I mean, what does doing that really do for me, though? Because, like, they still need to be closer. No, that... I like this aesthetic, too. I mean, I guess the idea is I could try doing something like this. Like, let's see how this works. Well, what am I thinking? It's the same distance. I can do this. Obviously, the horizontal distance is good here. But wait, hang on. Yeah, no, it works here. Okay, yeah. The problem is then, because it would be like this. So I guess I have no choice. It kind of has to be this. It doesn't look as neat as I was hoping. It looks a little like purpose-built, like it's specifically made to make this work. Oh, fun fact, Soma. Seared steak actually has one implementation. There is one place where you can use a seared steak. Well. Oh, I never hooked that up. But yeah, okay. So now this... Oh, well... That's... I mean, is that really a problem? Actually, you kind of screw yourself. So that'd be like, you shouldn't do this thing. Unless you use it as a shortcut. Because, yeah, you'd go all throughout this whole path, and then you do that, and it's like, well, now I can't continue my path that way. So I'm actually okay with that. It doesn't actually hurt anything. Yeah. It has one implementation, and my idea with it is... yeah, I'm booting down. The idea with it is... You can't get seared steak on Northeast Interitus before you already go through the abduction sequence. But if you find one hidden one, it gets you something early. Otherwise, when you are able to regain access to Northeast Interitus, you're able to buy seared steak from Southwest Interitus, which you can get that thing you could have gotten early at quote-unquote normal time. I actually do remember where I put the hidden steak. I put that there a few months ago. But yeah, I do remember where. Anyway, I need to be off. Progress was pretty good tonight. I have a much better handle on level 9 now. So thank you for being on, everyone. Thank you, Soma, for coming on. As always, it's great to have you on. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.